So I have to tell you the latest and greatest, and it's not, I know it is a negative symptom. It's nothing too insane, but I can't begin to describe the amount of guilt I feel and have always felt living off my family because, as I said, my family made me feel guilty for needing food and shelter, which was their responsibility, at least when I was under 18. 16 had I gotten emancipated. I don't understand what that constant guilt thing is. They call it teasing. I call it bullying, especially when it contributes to suicide. Nanette was like, well, since you're up here, and you need stuff because your mom, is not being cooperative with you going and getting the rest of it on your time with your disability. And then in the next breath, it's, I don't have to buy you clothing. And it's like, I know you don't. I appreciate it. That's why I think it would be nice if you would try to help me find someone. Surely to God, you can ask someone you work with for the name of an attorney so that we can get things taken care of in Mason County versus you just handling it and thinking I need to be in a psychiatric nursing facility. So shall I talk more about how Kay Bennett kicked Nan in the stomach when she was pregnant with Nanette, and all the behavior out of Nanette is to be, overlooked because, that was an accident that caused whatever. So, like I stated, the whole stupid shit scheme started with Tony Wins and Wendell Mason and my father claiming that this is what happened when in reality it was them and my sister, only for me to have no legal recourse whatsoever. I can't even fucking sleep at night. Fear of being raped, falsely imprisoned as a kid, and then people pretending to bail me out so that they would have that over my head. Pretty sure that's fraud, and it's criminal, not civil, but I could be wrong. So let me tell you all about why I killed myself. Because people had to have it their way or the highway. Being gay is a crime. And being dehumanized and degraded to the point of, we'll buy you animals to have sex with. I'm medicated. And believe it or not, I can still walk a straight line. Backwards. So, for people like Lisa Williams and her pervert bullshit, traumatic brain injury symptoms being drugs, clever programming from the cops drugging and hazing and raping kids, having that stupid bitch preach that message. There's no need to be offensive. I found it highly offensive that they bitch slapped a brain injury back in my face as my fault. Then allowed her to fly, literally, right on out of there with full pension and benefits. How convenient. I felt somebody touching my right hip. It started driving me crazy because that's what they used to do. Hold on to my hip while pumping me. As I said, cops need a little bit of fucking sensitivity training. As I said, let me tell you all about why I killed myself. Wasn't out of pure petty boredom or some lovesick sadness, even though I've had enough heartbreak in this lifetime to kill someone. Not to me harm them. The heartbreak. Killing someone. It's called broken heart syndrome. People laugh at that, but it's a real thing. I hate it when people litter. It's cold and damp. I don't feel like walking anywhere else. Plus, I fried some fish sticks last night for a snack. The garage smells. So now do you understand why I have a huge problem with cops mashing people and forcing them to place their hands behind their backs in that sick conversion reparative therapy that some children probably don't even remember happening? California was the first state to ban it in 2012 because of how many kids had been killed by it and how much damage it inflicted, only for the mental health profession to boom from the damage they had created fraudulently. Yes, I'm well aware the cases are worth fortunes. No goddamn lawyer will touch them. Too fucking chicken shit, apparently. Speak very carefully. I can remember when Donald Lansdale Wood had that wolf tanning bed and hid a video camera they had purchased in with the plants they were growing on shelves on the left side of the basement wall while the tanning bed was on the right side of the wall, where a pipe runs in, bringing in utilities. I can remember being up there questioned sometimes with no knowledge of how I got there or when I left. I remember Stocky and Woody, and that ugly Continental, and Stocky's semen. So, the next time you want to call me a liar, I suggest you bring proof to refute my claims. Oh well. So, for Kim Razor and whoever, we feared for our lives because of him. Let me tell you about Bob and Gwen and Dustin's big dick. Or Kathleen and Franklin and Chris Lofton's big dick. And Stuart Shocking, and it's only water vapor. Oh well. Do you think Kathleen Lofton ever took me as a student behind closed doors to make sure my home life was okay? Her and Cassandra, like this. Oh well. So let me tell you a little bit more about Patrick M. Boggs and Christy Klebeck Malibu Barbie Boggs. In the movie, I would be Morticia Adams, not Debbie Jelinski. It's not my fault she's the one who uses that phrase, and it fits perfectly. Malibu Barbie. And here's another dick pic. Not from me, or not of me. Well, my hands are starting to feel like they're frozen, and it's not even that cold. And they're turning blue. I'm pretty sure that's kind of called Raynaud's phenomenon, but, you know, it's not documented either. Doctors just don't have the time, apparently. I can see them turning blue. We're playing back hellish videos of what you've done. You mean you're talking about the hazing and coercion again, just like my co-workers did to me up here when I was 19. Interesting. Oh well. It's one of the reasons I left this goddamn city. No, I didn't hear a voice or see a person. This is how I pray. Whereas the people who believe they can beat demons out of others go around what they call blasting. You fucking faggot! You're a cocksucking fairy! Give it up! Get out! I blast in a much different way. It's a form of prayer upheld by the First Amendment. I don't go around beating demons out of people. I simply spread the gospel of God as I see it everywhere I go. Their physicians diagnosed it as the shits of the mouth, and a lot of it is involuntary, unfortunately. I don't like seeing unusual cars on our street. Well, hello. She must be having groceries delivered. I don't want to invade anyone's privacy, even though I'm pretty sure Ohio is a one-party thing. That Lexus is just like the last one I saw Christy have. Please, you can ask anyone. Anyone who encountered me in any type of store, if the cart had very much stuff in it, and I had been in there very long, the Tourette's was outrageous. I don't understand. That's the one thing I understand it, but why? Physical exertion. Obviously, you could see physical exertion causing bronchospasm. You know, that's another physical thing. Why in the hell would physical exertion make especially vocal Tourette's worse? Why? So, obviously, you can imagine me growing up as a farm kid and having to read text out loud in class just to be able to remember it and pissing all the other students off. And oh well, I got over it. Nobody had a clue, did they? That was how I had to live. Had to live. Threat to life. So, I just tried to keep it to myself and laugh about what was funny and keep my mouth shut about what wasn't. Until a certain point. That point being them putting me on even more suicide-causing medication. Well, as I said, Kim Razor's intentions were quite clear. They didn't want to hear any more of the story that I had already started talking about publicly. Scioto County, Foxwood Wood and Estill, my parents, they didn't want to hear any more of that story. Well, too goddamn bad. It's my body. It's my life. They had absolutely no right to violate me physically, sexually, or psychologically. But to hear courts argue it, they're allowed to do whatever they want to us. Women aren't allowed to have abortions now. And if they do, we're going to consider prosecuting them. That is absolute treason. Why the powers that be did not codify Roe versus Wade into law, I'll never know. But truly, thank you all for trying to codify same-sex marriage into law so that it cannot be overturned, simply challenged. Repeatedly, more than likely. So, yeah, my brother-in-law working for Primary Plus as well, and my sister being a bitch, being crazy. I know she used to punch me in the mouth all the time. I'm almost positive she's the one who pushed me down the basement stairs that day. To my mother admitting, my sister telling her to lick her clit. Too. So, thank you all for, backing their sorry asses up. She always has enough time for him and his family to vacation, to have dinner, to do this, to do that. But I literally had to beg her for help with our dying father. So, if the court thinks she actually gives a shit, they're kind of mistaken. Yes, people change, but not that much. Wash your own goddamn pots and pans. Do your own fucking laundry. Clean your own fucking house. I'm sure my mother would rather enjoy spending time with her grandchildren than doing your goddamn fucking household chores. But that's just my opinion. We work, we have jobs, blah, 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 blah. So do plenty of other people. We pay her. You should. I was loyal to no end. And then, once they stabbed me in the back, That sword that cuts both ways reared its ugly head. And that's the way it is. Don't give up on your faith. Love comes to those who believe it. And that's the way it is. It's a wonder I didn't pass out singing. But I didn't. Don't give up on your faith. Love comes to those who believe it. And that's the way it is. My little toes have always been turned outwards due to the equilibrium issues after them bludgeoning me and then them crying about it. He should be able to do everything we can do. Yeah, I used to have to get down on all fours to get up and down the stairs, thanks to their fucking abusive, rapey shit. And yes, I talk about it all publicly. Why wouldn't I? Oh well. So let me tell you why I killed myself, including being raped by law enforcement under 12, 3 separate felony counts, and them not doing a goddamn thing. To my knowledge, those skull fractures aren't even notated in my medical record anywhere. Then how can you spend money on cannabis when... Because it helps. Because it's recommended. Because you people tried to murder me. Remember that diesel fuel marinated steak? Thanks. Oh well. That's a lovely cologne. So let me reiterate about Patrick Boggs' piece of shit family. No offense. Them using that steel-toed boot to kick me 3 times in the right ankle like the Holy Trinity is the devil. Some stupid-ass sick initiation bullshit. And they want to argue that my hazing story with MCSO and MPD is not possible. Well, as I asked, who in the fuck are the delusional ones?